Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday the 21st of August 2022, ending Friday the 26th. We are getting very close to the end of summer. We got this week and next week and then Labor Day, and that's usually the very, very end of it all if it hasn't started sooner than that. Options expiration was on Friday. That's often at 2, somewhere in there. It's all a function of when people are on vacation. Europe tends to be on vacation for most of August, so to whatever extent that affects things, especially Forex, that's why we're half size. Here's the dollar index daily chart. You can see we actually moved up on Thursday and Friday, but prior to that, it was kind of a dead, it was actually a move up for the week. We'll look at that in a minute. Let's go through the major pairs. So here's the pound dollar heading towards lows again. The euro dollar also heading towards lows. Might be some action there when we open here on Sunday as well. The Aussie dollar dropped quite a bit this week. The euro yen very flat, and everything else kind of was too. So I don't know, there's a lot to talk about there. Now in terms of the intra-week action, let's just look at the pound because that's the thing we trade all the time. I mean, if you look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's nothing, right? Like 120 pips, 140 pips maybe for the whole time. And then on Friday, Thursday and Friday, we finally moved down. So you get a 300 pip move for the week, but the whole thing was on Thursday and Thursday night. So if you didn't catch that, then nothing else really happened for you. It was kind of boring from that perspective. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. And as you can see, we kind of dripped a little bit this week, mostly because of Friday. The rest of the week was a bust. So slow. So S&P cash on Friday down 55.26, left a little gap behind. As you can see, the Nasdaq 100 down 263. We'll talk about the trend reading in a second, but that's right on time with what we saw in the trend, and we talked about that. Stocks down 84.50 is what it is. The biotech's down 31.78. Not much there. Kind of about sitting on support, actually, to be honest. Russell 2000 down 43.38. Crude oil down to 89.91, down 59 cents on Friday. And again, we got a 13 buy signal in place. The risk line's around 82. But, we're below where we were before the war started. So interesting. People calling for $180 a barrel. That's not happening. We're the other way right now. It's amazing how many people get this stuff wrong. It's not really about... Anyway, don't get me started. The gold down $10.90. We've got advanced client ratio on the Nasdaq was negative 22.15, very negative, the worst in a few months since one day in June. You can see it's very, very negative. More stocks down than up by a lot, and on the New York was negative 21.96, also very negative. Again, probably in the bottom 7 or 8 of the year so far, so that was not pretty on Friday. Nasdaq volume, though, this was options expert. Think about this. This is options expiration. This tells you how much options expiration in August, summer, matters. 4.6 billion shares. That's the lowest volume of the week, almost the lowest volume we've seen in 3 weeks on options expiration that should have extra nonsense volume, right? So that's just why things have been, that's an example of why things have been so bad. If the options players aren't playing, the market's not moving, and that's just reality. The VIX was up $1.04 to 2060. After getting back down below 20, the trend closes at 0.97. Now here's the whole thing, right? We talked about this. We got to the, when the 10-day moving average of the trend crosses under 0.85, that's a sell signal on the broad market. That happened midweek, and we sold off from there. So that is, that was a warning sign, right? We saw that kind of coming. We mentioned that in the last report, but, again, so we'll see how long that carries us. The last time that happened, I think, was way back in like January. So that was the big sell-off then. Apple down $2.63, curling over from the rise. It's been on a run, actually. Amazon down $4.07. Meta down $6.70, heading back towards the lows again. This thing will get a 13 buy signal, though, if it goes too low. Google down $2.96 is what it is. Goldman Sachs down $5.25. Not much there. Netflix down $4 and a penny. Peloton's down 95 cents. So it is what it is. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down $1.85. Bonds down, rates up, and we're heading back towards the lows. Look out. Tesla, they're talking about a half-point rate hike at the next meeting again. Tesla down 18.61. I mean, it's kind of a blip. Tesla's kind of mid-range. Zoom's back under 100, down $3.68. VIX, never mind. Don't worry about that one. Nvidia down $9.24. Made a little money there this week. Bitcoin back down 2,000 points, so it's back down to 21 and change here on Sunday as we watch what's going on. Then let's look at the intra-week action. So here's the, we'll go to 10-minute candle so you can see the whole week. And when we do that, what do you get? Yeah, so we kind of gapped down on Monday, filled, went higher, closed above. Gap down Tuesday, filled it quickly, went higher. That was the high of the week at the midpoint of, or the late after lunch midpoint on Tuesday. Sold off and closed still slightly green for the day, but then gapped down on Wednesday and kind of just nothing, banked around a bit until we spiked on the Fed minutes release, and that filled the gap exactly. And then we closed about even for the day and even for the week at that point. Thursday, pretty much small gap down, we filled it. And then we closed, and at that point, we literally were like up 2 for the week or something ridiculous. I mean, this is how bad the summer is. Then we gapped down on options expiration. There's concerns about a nuclear plant, obviously, in Ukraine, and what that could have consequences if that thing goes sideways and stuff like that. So we gapped down and went a little bit lower, but you're not going to do much on options expiration in summer, and we had no volume, like I said. So that's pretty much the week. I don't know that there's too much else to say, and I don't have any real good analysis of anything beyond that because we've got no sell signals, no buy signals, nothing on the major indices. So it is what it is. In terms of economic data coming out this week on, sorry, I don't think this is refreshed. Hang on. My bad. Okay. Well, that's weird. I keep hitting the wrong thing. What am I doing wrong? This is kind of funny. I've never seen this before. Pump. Okay, we don't care about most of this. And we go over here. And it's like, okay, we've got... There it is. Why couldn't I find that a minute ago? Okay. Sorry, that's my bad. All right, so for this week ahead... no data on Monday, on Sunday night. Monday, nothing for here in the U.S. Tuesday, really nothing. Got flash services and manufacturing PMI numbers at 9:45 a.m. and new home sales at 10. Rich manufacturing index at 10, so almost nothing there. Wednesday, core or durable goods at 8:30, an hour before the bell. Pending home sales at 30 minutes in. Crude oil inventories, that's the weekly number, at 10:30, whatever. Preliminary GDP, first, that's the second look at GDP for the second quarter. It should be, a little slightly negative, but nothing I don't think we would call a recession at this point, obviously, with all the jobs that are being created. The initial and continuing jobless claims numbers for the week. Preliminary GDP price index, and then natty gas at 10:30. On Friday, we've got the goods trade balance, personal income and spending at hour before the bell, along with wholesale inventories and revised University of Michigan sentiment 30 minutes into the market. So it's kind of a light week. The rest of the world doesn't have much either. We will just trade it as it is. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.